Breaking news tonight.
Lara Sobel was shot and killed. Herring will be arraigned right in Barrie on Monday. As for Sobel, she leaves behind a husband and 2 daughters. Nonetheless, someone in this Burlington community died last night. That's why we have about 20 folks here lined up for a candlelight vigil. 12 different languages commonly spoken in the Burlington School District. Then print it out or email the pass on your phone. We are your local election headquarters. It was the Democrats' turn to debate the issues. Senator Bernie Sanders in Iowa this weekend. As election season begins to heat up in the Granite State, GOP candidates are going to try to distinguish themselves from the herd. Dog lovers in Winooski have a new space for their pups to play. The goal today is to have a lot of fun and, of course, to raise money for a good cause.
Let's get the very latest with Alex Rose.
Right now, the priority is finding these 2 very dangerous men.
Alex, tell me about this huge operation.
You got national and local police services. You have them cutting through steel in the back of their cells. Richard Matt has been shot and killed earlier today. There's been a comprehensive grid search that started at sunrise. Just a tremendous effort by New York State Police. You would think a celebrity rolled through Barrie Thursday, but this motorcade carried a Barrie boy known to many as a superhero. Drew Bernier spent the last year at Boston Children's Hospital fighting a rare blood disease.
Throughout this long series of tests, we found out that he had something called monosomy 7.
He had a bone marrow transplant.
New bone marrow attacked his old cells.
But with some super strength, Drew fought back, coming home in style.
Glad he's back. I just really think it shows his spirit and the power of the love that a community can have.
Drew's mother, Marie, knows the source of his powers.
We could not have done this without the community's help.
Balloons, Drew strong signs, and even a superhero quilt for the little fanatic. Drew's dad says they owe a lot more thanks because Drew's sister was always cared for.
The day we found out, we told them one of us would be with you every second of the day. And because of the community, we were able to do that.
You must be awful brave to have gone through all of that in a year.
You are brave.
And for Drew, the person he wanted to see the most?
Sophia.
And who's Sophia?
My sister. Thank you to the community.
He is just such a cool little dude. I don't know if you got to see his backpack. Is a pretty awesome Captain America backpack.
Yeah.
That has the IV that carries his nutrients until he's able to be strong enough to eat again. Tonight, he got to see a lot of his friends out there in the community. And obviously, he's a big superhero fanatic. A local theater actually offered to give him a private screening of the latest Avengers movie. He is really excited for that one.
Terrific. Congratulations to them and in the community as well.
It's amazing.
It was great to see so many people out.
Yeah.
Local 44's Alex Rose is live in Dannemora tonight. And Alex, so what are officials now saying about how they cut through layers of steel?
Well, Joe, we know that Joyce Mitchell provided David Sweat and Richard Matt with the basic type of tools that help them cut through the back of the steel walls in their cells. But these tools don't have the power to slice through Clinton Correctional in the fashion that they did in their escape. So we talked to some experts earlier today about what kind of tools are right for that kind of a job. It's a professional job cutting through steel and brick the way David Sweat and Richard Matt did to break out of Clinton Correctional.
It looks like very precision work. It certainly doesn't look like a novice was making those cuts.
But how could 2 criminals pull it off?
You're going to have some patience and some time.
For Matt and Sweat, time was on their side. Officials say a hacksaw provided by Joyce Mitchell helped cut through steel in the back of their cells. We spoke with some experts at Fastenal in Plattsburgh.
It's not going to happen in a few hours to get that cut done.
Experts say a battery-powered grinder or sawzall are the tools of choice for the steel pipe and manhole lock between them and freedom. Most of these tools can be disassembled and broken into smaller parts. So a couple of minutes and 15 screws later, we were able to disassemble this cordless grinder to about the size of a soda can. And if David Sweat and Richard Matt were able to get in basic tools into Clinton Correctional, there's no telling what they could accomplish if they had the time. We don't know exactly how they got tools from Mitchell.
I have no idea whether it was a magazine or how the transfer took place, but there's obviously, many possibilities.
But District Attorney Andrew Wiley says they found the tools.
We think they came upon it by accident.
But as you can tell, it's hard not to hear that kind of racket. Earlier asking him if it is at all possible if one of the hundreds of contractors that are in and out of Clinton Correctional regularly left behind some power tools as a source of outside help. And he said there's no information that contractors have previous contact with David Sweat or Richard Matt or have assisted them in their escape in any way, shape, or form.
It's the kind of neighborhood where you see somebody walking down the street, you stop and say hi.
But in recent months, Dolores Nichols says the neighborhood has changed. It's nestled in the Swanton Ridge, the site of a possible wind turbine project. The controversy has divided the neighborhood. And Sunday, Nichols noticed something unsettling. 4 cars were vandalized in this neighborhood on Rocky Ridge Road, and some tires had up to 6 visible slash marks. Both of the family's cars were hit early Sunday morning.
A little angry. But we have a young child. I don't want her to see us angry, so we're just taking it in stride right now. Trees. My daughter was recently diagnosed with absent seizures, so we have no vehicles right now, and if she was to have a seizure, we would have to wait for an ambulance to get out here. It doesn't show up on GPS, so we don't know how long it would take them to get out here.
Between the 3 neighboring houses, all have no wind turbine signs on the front lawn. State Police Trooper Dan Marcella says the slashings happened with similar style.
Depending on the cost to get things back up and running for the folks, it may meet the threshold for the felony, but the other ones are going to be misdemeanor violations.
That $1,000 threshold could be met for the Nichols family. And fingerprints left on the handles could lead police in the right direction.
That is going to be the strongest physical evidence that we have. It may turn out that those fingerprints belong to those of the homeowners.
Now, I talked with Travis Belisle. He's in charge of the Swanton Wind Turbine Project. He denies any involvement with the vandalism and in no way condones that type of action. Vermont State Police estimate the total damage at $3,000.